Well, good morning, YouTube. All right, we're back out here at the old shop. So I got a bad habit. So I bought another truck yesterday. Wasn't really planning on this, kind of last minute decision. I thought it was a pretty good deal, so we'll see. Suppose we had a fuel issue. Third injector's missing. The valve cover's already pulled off. Came from Nevada from the auction. So I have another. Okay, so this is the truck I bought yesterday. It's 06 Dodge Cummins Ram 2500 mega cab. So I don't know if you guys seen a couple videos before this, but I sold this exact same truck, but it had a worn winch and bumper in the front, and the Bradford built flatbed, and it had the FabTech lift, and it had the bags on the back too. This one's actually got airbags on the back too. Yeah, this came from the Copart, I believe, in Reno. They put it down as a total loss. No one knows why. All I know is that third injector was pulled out of it, and the valve cover was loose when I bought it, and I just assumed, when I bought it, I'm gonna be putting a motor in it. I'm taking the chance. Because this whole injector was missing when I bought the truck. It was gone. Someone pulled it. I took my camera and looked down in there, and everything looked okay. The only thing I noticed was like right in the middle of the piston, really clean, like a clean spot. And I don't know what that's about, unless that's where the injector's spraying. I don't know. Okay, they had the fuel filter out too. I did take and drain that fill bowl twice, and I took a sample out of it as I turned the key on to run the fill pump. And this is the fuel that I drained about, I'd say, on the third time of the fuel filter housing. Look at the water. Look at the water that I got out of that fuel. He must have got bad fuel somewhere. I'm just assuming. I mean, that's what came out of the tank. Like, did 3 cycles of the key, and I drained that fuel bowl. I'm going with, contaminated. And there's no signs of it going underwater. It cranks over. So I got this injector already out of my spare engine. It's got almost brand new injectors in it, so he hit something. So yeah, all right, you guys, I'm gonna turn the camera off. It's such a pain in the ass to try to download and edit all this stuff, so I try to keep the videos somewhat around 10-15 minutes. So we're back out here next day. Actually, it's been a couple days. So we had to have our New Year's party, so I shoved this thing out. What I have found out, this truck came from Nevada, so somewhere they got contaminated fuel with water in it. Good. Someone's tried to save this thing. They put a new CP3 on there and cleaned out the tank. I'm going to pull the bed and make sure of that. This thing, it sounded like it had good compression. Everything sounded even. So it tried to start, but it wasn't having any of it. There was raw fuel coming out, like stuck injectors, or almost like the timing was off, but there's not really. I can't believe that, it's hard to say. So anyways, if you look down there, I don't know if you guys can see, but those holes, that was the first injector, was just caked with water and rust. So I'm gonna do my best to clean all that really good. All these injectors I've pulled out except for the good one that I put in there. I hope it's okay. So there's the pretty bad. They're all of them are like that. Well, as it got to the back, the injectors got cleaner looking, but I'm gonna pull this whole fuel system apart. I'm pulling that CP3 out, the fuel bowl with the fuel filters coming out, that rail's coming off. I'm gonna blow everything out, clean everything out with some kind of solvent, and then I'm gonna pull the bed and check the tank to make sure, but I'm pretty sure someone's already cleaned the tank. Injector back there, that one's kind of a pain in the you know what to get out. I got the fuel bowl out. Like I said, I'm putting all new everything in here. So that pump's new. I just don't trust it. I'm taking it out. I'm not going to chance contaminating the brand new injectors. So I know it can be pricey, but if you got the stuff and you can pay for it, just do it. Because you know what they did? They put a new pump in there and half-ass flushed the tank out. And I guarantee you, I'm going to video when I go to take the bed off. Because I'm not dropping the tank. I take the beds off. If you have a forklift or a tractor and you can take the bed off, so much easier. 6 bolts and a taillight harness and it's off. And then all in the look in there. Whoever tried to save this thing took it to the shop, paid probably $1,600 or $1,300 for that pump. Look at all that in there. Look at all that down in there. There, yeah. There was no way that I was gonna put that all back together. I mean, I'm changing this whole housing. It's going bye-bye. Yeah, look at that. Look at that pile of crap that fell in the power steering reservoir right there. Holy shit. The part is I'm sick, so I can't even really smell too good. Oh, yep, water. So I'm gonna work on getting this injection pump out. Went and got the old steering wheel remover set. I heard was the best of getting that nut off the injection pump, or to push the pump out. It's a little update video. So I got all the injectors, nozzles, the whole fuel rail, another injection pump on there, everything back together, and this truck still does not start. So the codes it gave me was a P0016, and that's something to do with the cam timing and the crankshaft. The same cam and crankshaft. I changed both those sensors. So there is a timing issue going on. So I'm gonna tear this whole front of this truck apart so that I can actually see, because I'm not gonna do all this with all this shit in the way. That's one thing that pisses me off, is trying to work on something and you just have no room to work on it. So I'm gonna make it easy so that my eyeballs can see the timing gears and everything, and I'm gonna check, because we're thinking that it's having a timing issue. So yeah, okay, get all this off and then I'll update you guys. So looks like the timing's good. Everything looks okay in here. So I think next step is to send the PCM out to get checked out. I think it's a powertrain problem. What sucks is I've done the injectors, the fill pump, the whole fuel system was junk, but still, I went from that to this. So stick it outside and degrease it, and we'll go from there. On this, you know what? I spent too many days on this truck so far. So I got the oil pump out, as you guys can see. It was not building oil pressure. Now, for one of these trucks to have an oil pump fail is unheard of. I'll tell you that right now. I've never seen it, never even heard of it. I'm not saying that's what's wrong. I don't know why it wasn't building oil pressure, but I tapped into the oil filter housing there, And got one of these gauges from Harbor Freight, and I cranked this thing for probably 2 minutes straight until the batteries weren't dead, and this gauge did not move at all. I checked the mains and the rod caps bearings, rod bearings, and they look perfectly fine. Nothing, they've got oil in there. So yeah, this truck has just been a pain in the ass with the whole injectors, another pump, a whole fill system I've rebuilt. I got, at this point, if I was to count my labor and time and everything in this thing, it's not very good. So yeah, I got the oil pan off too, you guys can see. I wanted to check that the pipe, the oil pickup tube there, the gasket. I went to Dodge this morning and got a new front timing crank gasket, and then the oil pickup tube gasket from Dodge. And then I picked up a oil filter too while I was there. I kind of ripped that one whenever I was taking it out, so that was my fault. So let's cross our fingers and hope that this thing fires up after I put all this back together. Alright, it runs. Okay, so the problem was, so that's a brand new pump, injection pump. This is your rail pressure sensor. So this came out of a running truck engine that I have for a spare, so I've been using parts from as my spare engine. So apparently it went bad sitting. So this is the new injection pump. So I read online, someone said to unplug this sensor and it should start. Sure enough, freaking truck started. So I changed these out, and then the truck runs fine now. But now there was other things I would say with the oil filter was on there so tight, and I don't think that they ever changed the oil filter. They just kept dumping the oil. It had so much buildup in there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and thank you for the guys that have subscribed. I appreciate it. All right, we'll keep you updated. All right. All back together, radiator and intercooler. Ready to rock and roll. All back in there. It's good.